Welcome in. This is 300 Yards to Unknown. I'm Rick Game, and that right there is Eric Patterson. Pat, welcome in, my guy. How's it going?
Rick, I'm doing well. Good morning to you. This is the earliest we've done it for you. So if Rick's yawning, just know that it's 7 a.m. his time. So cut him some slack.
We do not sleep. Golf takes do not sleep. We've got to get right into them. But first, there is something, Eric, that alarmed me in regards to you. I'm concerned. I had to do a wellness check. I just wanted to see how everything is going because I see at EPAT Golf, Tommy Fleetwood is back. He's back as the avatar. Talk me through what happened here? What made this decision come to fruition?
He was one of my picks this week. I haven't had a good Tommy Fleetwood week in a while, so I figured I would treat myself and my followers to the old headband Tommy avatar. Get the good vibes going. He played decent in round one. I mean, Rory at the top of the leaderboard is not a little concerning, but I've been a Fleetwood fanboy for a while, so I just brought him back to see if it would provide some mojo.
Most people, I think, thought that was you for a long time, right?
That was the best. I used to always get people would get in the comments saying nice headband or you look like an idiot, and it was clearly Fleetwood, and just not golf fans clearly, but I mean a headband on the golf course is a look, and no one pulls it off. So I really hope he goes back to it one day. It's like a tennis look. It looks like he's ready for the courts.
Yeah, you got to have that specific flow that requires a headband, and then you got to have a little certain swag to be able to pull it off. So it's kind of like a two-part deal, and nobody can do that better than Tommy Fleetwood.
That was early days Fleetwood, maybe 2016. No one really knew who he was. I probably didn't know who he was, but that's one of my better pictures of him. So yeah, hopefully he can pull it through.
You've probably seen this. I'm pretty sure. Let me see if it's still up there. His wiki page, the picture of him on his wiki is pure insanity. First of all, he looks like he's 65 years old. If you put this in front of me and said, "Is this Tommy Fleetwood?" I'd be like, "No, it's absolutely not." It looks nothing like him. Let me see.
Yeah, the Wikipedia pages for golfers needs an overhaul. There's some bad ones. I don't have them top of my mind, but yeah, this Fleetwood one is brutal.
Yeah. That's Tommy's. How can that be? That doesn't even. Where did they get this picture?
Yeah, short hair. Yeah, 2014, 2013. There's some other pretty egregious ones. So maybe that's a side project of mine. Just hop on Wikipedia and update everyone's picture.
There you go. News for this week: the PGA Tour partners with Amazon to, quote, improve how fans view the future and past tournaments. And when this news was released, Eric, I think a lot of people took it a different way than maybe I took it. So let me just read what is happening here and what this new partnership means. Essentially, AWS, that's Amazon Web Services, is going to power Every Shot Live, which is the app that we tried to get or we got for one day at the Players Championship, where you can see, in theory, every shot from every player, right?
Yeah, and they had that for one round of the Players last year. And truthfully, I don't remember exactly how it went, but I'm pretty certain it was exactly what the Masters does with you got to click into the player's screen on the leaderboard and then click a video and it shows that shot.
Yes, I also believe that is. I don't remember either, but yeah, there
was a lot going on last year at the Players.
Yeah, believe it or not, there were other things happening than Every Shot Live. But yeah, they are trying to model this after the Masters. Now, I'll just stop there because I saw a lot of people take this to say, wow, we now get to see every shot from every event moving forward, which is 100% not the case. There is actually another comment in here that says it says right here, plans for Every Shot Live at future tournaments have yet to be announced. So we are not starting next week and seeing every shot every single week by every single player.
The tour has they do a fantastic job of kind of pumping their own tires. And I love this step. Obviously, anytime you partner with Amazon, I think it's kind of a no brainer. Whatever they touch seems to turn into gold. So if there is a company that can create the product I think we all want to see, it would be Amazon. But right now, everyone's getting fired up. when you hear every shot live, you would expect that, you open an app, you can select your players, and then boom, you just sit back and watch them play golf, right? That's what I would expect from the slogan "Every shot live," but that's not what this is. It's it's like if they said "Watch every shot," I would buy it because you can go watch every shot, but it's not live. It's like a few minutes delayed. And you see this at the Masters where you know the result of the shot before you see the video. So it doesn't add a lot because, I see Rory just put it to 5 feet. If I want to go see how he put it to 5 feet, then I can go do it.
It should be called Every Shot Almost Live or Every Shot.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same ring to it. Every shot
replay.
And then people were getting in my mention saying like, well, every shot on TV isn't live. I was like, I understand there's some latency lag or whatever the term is between the actual what's going on and what I see on my TV. But yeah, for them to sell it like every shot live, maybe this is what happens. Maybe they can pull it off. But right now, it's not going to happen next week at the Players.
I have no qualms. I have no concerns that Amazon can pull this off. Like, no problem. I'm more concerned about the Tour's end of the partnership, right? Like that's what I'm more concerned about. And actually, do you know, and I guess you don't have this up there, but how do you get your PGA Tour Live comes through what, like Golf TV or something?
Yeah.
Okay. So you might not be aware of this, but what I remember is for every shot live last year, it was only on the NBC Gold version of PGA Tour Live. So in the States, you have your PGA Tour Live subscription, and you can watch it either through NBC Gold or Amazon Prime. And the Every Shot Live was only available through NBC Gold because I don't know why, if that was the way they had it, because it was, I don't know, Golf Channel related or whatever, but that was how it came out. Which to me is terrible because the Amazon version of PGA Tour Live is like significantly better. Like the app is better. I think it's higher quality. Like I had the NBC Gold version for a while. So this still does not answer a lot of other questions and concerns I have about how all of this is going to be distributed and handled.
Truthfully, I don't even think, I think they said that the Thursday is going to be free. So whatever that means, you'll be able to find it on one of the platforms. My concern is it won't be available in Canada because they treat us like we're Russia or Siberia or it's just something so far away. So it's my hopes are not high that I'll be able to watch this or take this in, but because I just don't think Golf TV will be able to handle it either. But you would assume that because Amazon's taking it over, you'll be able to watch it on the Amazon stream.
Don't assume so quickly, Eric, because I'm reading this and it says, as you mentioned, Every Shot Live will be free on Thursday for the Players, while Friday through Sunday will only be available to the PGA Tour Live subscribers on NBC Sports Gold.
That makes zero sense.
Great partnership we got here.
So that we're off to a blazing start between Amazon and the tour here. That makes no sense to me, but it's probably because they didn't have the tools to turn this around as quickly as they might think they do. So whoever's running this is probably still like the old people.
Right. Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. They just, signed a contract with AWS. They become the official cloud provider or whatever of the PGA Tour. And that's all she wrote. And then we'll figure it out later. There's also this data lake, Eric, which apparently is going to be nearly 100 years of media content, including video, images, audio, dating back to the 1928 Los Angeles Open. I've never heard the term data lake before. I work in data. I don't know what a data lake is. Sounds like something you just throw it all in the lake and then what happens? I don't know. You have to swim in, you have to dive in and find it. I don't know.
Lakes are big. Lakes are huge. Not even like a data pond, like what you see on the course. Like a lake is, when I think of the Great Lakes when I hear that. So that's a lot of data and maybe too much. You could argue too much. I don't know if I need to go back to a 1940s tournament and watch the first round highlights, but maybe that's for some people to take in.
Whatever this ends up being, I think it is very clearly a step towards the PGA Tour taking data and taking the feeds more seriously. So there are some rumors that PGA Tour Live is going to have more than one feed next year. There's going to be a couple of feeds and there's going to be more featured groups and stuff like that. So that's a start. I guess I'll believe it when I see it. And then also, I think they're taking data more seriously. And I like, people have always clamored, EPAT, for kind of like an open API to the ShotLink data, to the stats on the PGA Tour, allowed, like some other sports do, developers to work with it. And that's where you get really cool apps. It's how you get NBA Top Shot. It's how you get like all this stuff. If you open up kind of the access underneath the hood to a lot of this stuff, these third parties, these other companies can come in and they can make the most out of it. The PGA Tour has never done that. And I'm wondering if we are taking one tiny, tiny, tiny step in that direction.
Yeah. When I saw the news, I was like, this is a good step in the right direction. I'm not going to say I'm all in on the entire concept, but I do think, even you're talking about like little steps forward, I think the tour is starting to share some more videos that we would never see in the past. Yeah. And like yesterday we saw Justin Rose completely shank it out of the bunker and threw it into like a TV tower, which I don't know if they would have shown that a year or so ago. Maybe like this, I saw someone say this is something like Scratch would put out like a couple days later when it was almost old news and they would make a joke out of it. But that came out almost immediately. We've seen it with like the McIlroy videos, the Reed videos. Like they are being a little more transparent with what they put out on their Twitter feed. So
yeah,
maybe someone's like kind of realizing that like any content, good or bad, is good, and like kind of people want to see all sides of the game. So I think that's another, like you said, a step in the right direction towards like giving everyone like you and I what we kind of expect out of the tour. And I mean, while we're on the topic, did you see that what was it? The survey that came out and said that golf fans are some of the angriest people on social media.
Really? No, yeah. I did not see this.
So I guess there was a survey. They looked through like, golf Twitter tweets and got like a general consensus around the tone or the words used, and tried to figure out if people were happy, sad, angry, like impressed. And I don't have the numbers in front of me, but golf led the way in terms of angriest, but we also had the highest percentage of like wowed or like impressed. So okay. We have a wide range of emotions. And I think the angry,
very unstable.
Yeah. I think the angry part just goes back to like what we expect, like, or what we want. It's just maybe it's not even like that different from other sports. we're just, and I'm just going to take a term from Jeff Feinberg. It's like, we feel underserved as like a sporting, like as a fan group. We don't get to see our tournaments live that often. There's coverage gaps in the middle of our coverage. Like the leaderboards, the stats don't really work all the time. Like it just, if you compare it to other sports, we kind of get just brushed aside as if we're like, we're not as important. So I think that's where the anger come from. And it's justified in my opinion.
It's completely justified. I mean, we've talked about it. No other sport does X, Y, and Z happen, but I just think about a Major League Baseball team that is going to end the season at 60 and 120. They've got 500 fans in the stands and they are getting 162 times a year, at least 3.5 hours worth of coverage. If that game goes to 15 innings, they're never cutting away. They're never sending you to another channel. They're never doing anything. Like you have never missed a pitch of 162 games of a 60 and 120 team. Like it's just, yeah. It's insane.
As meaningless as that is. And like, imagine that exact scenario, but the coverage just started. They pick you up in the 5th inning. It's like, no one would watch that. No one's going to just tune in for the last half. But that's sometimes what we see on tour coverage. And again, that's why I think the anger is a little like, yeah, it's justified, and it's just been around for so long because we have never seen the improvements. But this is a step, again, back to Amazon, a step in the right direction.
And let's be clear, that survey, if it's only done on Twitter, is not really golf fans. It's like Twitter golf fans, right? It's not
we're the ones who are like,
my dad's not angry at golf, right? Like it's like, people
that's true.
Are on Twitter who are probably a younger demographic, who are probably more involved in the gambling or the DFS, are complaining about performance, complaining about coverage. Yeah, I imagine there'd be a lot to complain about because there's a lot to complain about.
The old guy sleeping on his couch Sunday afternoons, not complaining on Twitter about the coverage gap. That just gives him 15 minutes to shut his eyes and doze off for a bit. Right. So yeah, It's the people who are on their phone, looking through Twitter, looking through scores, trying to figure out what's going on. That's the ones who are angry about it. Yeah.
Yeah, when the PGA Tour app doesn't even work, doesn't even update for 3 hours.
That's what I said. I said this should be their number one priority. Amazon meeting is just straight. How do we get this tour, the PGA Tour app to work? And on the leaderboard, I've noticed they've taken away. So the My leaderboard where you star all the players.
Yes.
And then they pop up to the top. That's not working for me anymore. So then I went to color coding my players so I could just scroll through and see, oh, there's a blue guy. That's a guy I'm tracking this week. They've taken that feature away for no apparent reason. So
yeah,
they're taking away, which no one clicks. I just,
right.
Again, this is a good rant session between you and I.
The other thing. So, okay. So you can, if they're in the full leaderboard, you can open up the drawer for as many players as you want, right? So you can open up, you can keep it open so that you can see the shot by shot.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
Yep.
So you can have 5 guys open, but you can only have 1 guy open if they're in your My leaderboard. So if they're in your favorite, you can't open up all 5 or 6 at the same time. You can only open up 1. Also, the best feature of PGAtour.com was the search feature. In the upper right-hand corner, you click the search button and you could type in any name or whatever. They got rid of that.
Did they?
They got rid of the search feature. Like literally the best feature. Now you have to click players. Then you have to click the letter of their last name. Go. It's just I don't know who makes these decisions.
And you bring up the players. Like, do you have the site open? I'll try to. If you go, it's so hard to find players on the site because they start at A. And the number of A's is like I think I've tweeted this once. There's just a list of old retired dudes. John Adams, Sam Adams.
Yeah, here we go.
Fulton Allman. Like, I don't know.
Right, so here we go.
Dudes are.
So players.
Big screen. Yeah. This is unbelievable.
John Adams, Sam Adams, Fulton
Look at the
Allman.
pictures of these dudes. These guys aren't PGA Tour players.
Yeah, and why are these the very first thing that you see when you are on?
Why wouldn't they pull up like the current FedEx Cup, like organized by like the top guys? If I want to go see who's playing on the PGA Tour right now, I see literally the average age might be 75, 80.
Yeah.
The first guy I recognize is like Abe Ancer and Benny On.
There used to be a search button up here that you would click and you would type in a name and then it would rank them. I don't know how it would rank them, career money list or whatever, because if you put in Palmer, it would be like, well, I guess Ryan Palmer would have been above Arnold Palmer if we were doing career earnings, but like it would rank them in the way that you wanted them, right? Like if I typed in WO, it wouldn't give me Gary Woodland. It wouldn't give me it would give me Tiger Woods, like first off the bat.
I love how they're just taking features away. We gotta get this. We gotta get Amazon on the case ASAP and just overhaul this entire system.
AWS ASAP is where we are headed now. Do you want to do Nick? Here's a question: Nick Faldo or Johnny Football? Which way do you want to go here?
Let's just go. Johnny Football thing doesn't get me as excited. I'll go with Faldo.
All right, Nick Faldo. I guess a couple of days ago took a shot at Ricky Fowler, and essentially, he was replying to a tweet that, Ricky's not qualified for the Masters yet, or whatever. And he said, I want to make sure I get this right. Hold on a second. Did he delete it?
He might have deleted it.
Anyway,
I think I
can't
have
find it. But he said something like he now has time to film 6 more commercials that week or something like that.
Yeah, if he misses the Masters, he has more time to film 6 commercials.
Which is, it's tough.
Great tweet.
It's a great tweet. It's a great tweet.
But from a broadcaster, from one of the most prominent figures in golf who has to like kind of comment objectively on these players, it's a tough tweet. It's a tweet I would send, or someone who's just not as serious on Twitter might send.
Do you think it was okay? It could almost have been like meta and like self-deprecating, because this guy hawks all like he might have actually been like, oh my God, yeah, you could do 6 more commercials. I'm in 1 million commercials. This is great. Like, yeah, that would be, I'd love to have more time off. Like, do you think any part of it was a little bit self-looking because he is such a hawker of product?
Well, he released an explanation video, I'm going to call it, this morning as to why he went after Fowler. And he even said in there, he's like, maybe what I said was out of jealousy because I have a commercial of my own where he's hawking these shoes that guarantee distance. And
guarantee.
guaranteed. Did you see their Twitter account jumped in on the conversation saying, we'll give you a 30-day trial of our shoes, and if you don't gain more distance, send them back. Which is an unbelievable claim. I kind of want to try them just to
I was
see.
gonna say I might as well just document this. I'll just video the whole thing. Yeah, how can that be true? Can shoes give you 10 extra
There's
yards?
no
And
chance.
If not,
they're just banking on no one sending them back. Maybe they're comfy and no one just ever sends them back. But there's no way shoes can make you hit the ball further.
Or like if you hit one good one, like most people aren't going to know if it went 10 yards further or not, right? Like not everyone has a TrackMan set up.
They square it up one time, and that's how they track their one driving distance stat.
Right. So they're like, oh wow, no, that did feel good. Yeah, man, that felt a little bit different. Like it's just a placebo that has to last for 30 days, and then you have to keep the shoes. But anyway, Faldo is he leans into this, and then just like today or yesterday, he gives what would not be deemed a apology video, an explanation video is the way to put it.
I like that he's getting edgy. Maybe Faldo knows Mickelson's knocking on the door and he might be on his way out, so he's just going to start firing from the hip a little bit more, because he leaned in pretty hard to Patrick Reed at the Farmers, and now he's going after Fowler on Twitter. So like maybe Faldo just getting a little cranky and just kind of letting his thoughts fly a little bit more, which I'm down for. He's pretty bland sometimes, but this is, I'm all for guys calling out tour pros, and maybe it'll kick Fowler in the butt a little bit. He in his video, he went back to like, Fowler was called like the most overrated player on tour, and then the next week he went out and won the Players Championship. So he's pretty much saying, or he made reference to the fact that he was going to needle Fowler. He said that like a few years ago, and now he's like, I hope Fowler still remembers that, because all this is me just needling him to try and kick him in the butt to get going.
Yeah, it's Ricky's got to be in such a tough spot right now. I mean, it has been over a year since he's really been in contention of anything. The game looks a little bit lost. I mean, it's now Faldo's taking shots at him. Like, man, I hope he's got some thick skin, because this has like been a pretty tough stretch for him.
The story that Faldo quote tweeted to attack him was kind of like sad, because Fowler was talking about how it's like impacting his relationship with his caddy, and how he's trying to be a good husband for his wife when he has to leave the golf at the course, so he has to come home and still be like a husband. So it's like, man, it's like taking a toll on him, like a pretty good toll on him for the last year or so. So like for Faldo to just kind of bury him when it's pretty much Ricky just saying, yeah, I'm really struggling mentally, and maybe my relationships are taking a hit as well. So it wasn't just like it wasn't some off the cuff story. It was almost like an emotional Ricky, but is what it is. Hopefully I hope he comes back. I just don't think he'll ever be like a top 10 player, top 20 player again.
No, and he doesn't have to be. But if he could just be like, contend a couple times a year, maybe you win once every other year, right? I mean, winning's hard on the PGA Tour. Maybe you win once every other year. Maybe, just stay relevant, contend, be there on a Sunday. Yeah. Like having him and Spieth back would be awesome. I mean, look at what Hovland's doing. Look at what Morikawa's doing. Like the game is so good right now. Having those guys back would be even better.
Yeah. Fowler's in a tough spot. I don't think he was ever good enough, even at his peak, to compete with, like, he's not long. He putts it well. He's like he's kind of like not a poor man's, like I don't know, a middle-class Jordan Spieth, if you will. He puts it well, chips it good, but just can't compete with the modern game. But what was I about to say? I was going to say something, but no, completely escapes my mind. Too bad.
Too bad. We'll get it next time. Johnny Football trying to become Johnny Golf. Johnny Manziel has announced that he wants to reach the PGA Tour by age 40, which gives him 12 years. Eric, chances of this happening from 1 to 100 are what?
Oof. I saw his handicap was like around 0, so I'm going to give him like 0.1. How many guys trying to make the PGA Tour actually make the PGA Tour? Probably like 1 in 10,000.
Yeah, probably less than that. Yeah.
Yeah, probably less than that. So, yeah, less than 1%.
Things he has going for him.
Money.
And he could definitely get a sponsor's exemption.
Yeah, that's the cheap way. If he wants, that he might be able to do that. But when Steph Curry played on the Korn Ferry, was he competing as an amateur, right? Yeah, he had to have been.
Why did he have to be?
I'm almost certain he was competing as an amateur. Like Steph Curry doesn't consider himself a professional golfer.
No, but couldn't he have taken the $3,000 paycheck if he made the cut?
I'm not sure how it works. I think that's a good question. I don't know how these guys, like, they just declare they're turning pro and immediately they're a pro.
It just means they can't play in an amateur event after this. Well, Steph Curry doesn't care about that, right?
Yeah. But like
Romo
competes as an amateur. He's not caking money. So like, I guess if Johnny just says, yeah, I want to be a pro, and then that's the only way he could do it, is if he gets some publicity and he's in as a sponsor's invite at the Puerto Rico Open or something.
I'm trying to look at Steph Curry. I don't know. But yeah, so the only way he could do it is like get in on and like to get his card is different, right? To play on the PGA
he
Tour,
won't get it. He would never get his card.
Right, exactly. He would need to take those sponsors exemptions and turn them into enough results, which we see real professional golfers can't do that all the time.
Okay, so maybe it's higher than one. It's probably higher than 1% to play in a PGA Tour event in his career. I think he can do it.
Why not just give himself 22 years and then go for the Champions Tour? That would be the smart thing to do.
Yeah, it's weird how he's like by the age of 40. Like by the time you're 40, you might suck. Like,
and the other thing was
next 5 years.
They were like, yeah, here are the guys on tour who are currently younger than Johnny Football, and it's like everyone.
Yeah, he's kind of over the hill for a golfer at this point. Yeah, I don't know. It's not something I'm going to be tracking week to week, checking in on Johnny Football's latest results. But yeah, I'm sure we'll see him at a Puerto Rico or a Corn Ferry Tour event or something, so you can just say that he played pro golf. But yeah.
Last thing, so we are recording this on Friday.
Oh, this is good.
Does Bryson drive number 6 at any point?
He said he was talking about how he wants to do it. He's thinking about doing it, but I think if he's in contention, he's not going to do it.
Right. Because he's not reckless and stupid. He's not going to blow the tournament.
He even said like he's aiming for like a bunker that's like 30 or 40 yards right of the green. Like he's giving himself, if he aims at the green and he hooks it, like he's probably going to go and like I think there's trees or even more water. So he's aiming right of the green to begin with to give himself a wider landing area. He might get lucky, but I just don't even think he's going to go for it. It seems, yeah, like you said, reckless.
If he's in contention, he certainly won't be going for it. The other thing is this. I believe that Bryson likes the illusion of people thinking he can get there.
Yeah.
And if he actually goes for it and he cannot, the illusion is shattered. People are going to know he can't get there, which is crazy. That, like, we're not trying to grade him on whether he can drive a par 5, but like I think he likes that people think he might be able to.
He likes, he likes the attention around it. Like you said, he doesn't want to be like called out for being a phony, like not being able to do it. And he always has the wind card in his back pocket. Like he just has to say, I wasn't comfortable with the wind. So no one's going to be like, oh yeah, that that's not an excuse. And then apparently yesterday he stepped up on the tee and pulled out an iron and got people all excited and people were booing him. And it's like, I think he just loves like the showmanship of it all, because even in like the practice round there, he was attempting it. Like he was teeing off at the front edge of the tee block. Like it wasn't even where they would normally be teeing up. So I think it's definitely getting blown out of proportion, but part of me wants to see him try it just until he goes like full tin cup. I just don't think that's ever going to happen.
Yeah, and the other thing is he can, like, if he goes on and if he doesn't try to drive the green and he wins this golf tournament or he's in contention, he could just be like, oh yeah, well, I won and I didn't even need to. Like, it's just there's really no reason for him to even go for it unless he's 10 shots out on Sunday and he
needs to make like a frisky 2 on a par 5.
Yeah,
he needs to make up some shots real quick. But yeah, like it's. Someone, I read a tweet, like he's either going to do this if he's, tied for 120th on Friday or tied for 57th on Sunday. Like it's just, that's the only chance that he would do it. And he's what, 3rd right now. So then, yeah, no point in attempting that.
All righty, Pat. Much appreciated, but early morning record for us. I'll get this
early morning venting session.
Early morning vent. I'll get this out as soon as I can, but you can find Eric on Twitter at ePackGolf. You can find me at RickRunGood. This has been 300 Yards to Unknown, and we'll catch you next time.